were many exam leaks that impacted a major medical exam that students took in the month of May. Now, Sonam Wangchuk is now being monitored round the clock.
That's the latest feature story news. This is Ross Cullen in Paris reporting.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to a Thursday, the 16th day of July for 2026. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, up and at 'em, ready to start your day the right way. All of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Plenty to talk about. Another Nebraska baseball player has signed an undrafted free agent contract, this time with the Chicago White Sox. We'll tell you about that coming up. Florida prosecutors have declined to file charges against Nebraska running back Mekhi Nelson. That after Nebraska went out and signed a deal earlier this week with former Penn State running back Tiki Hayes. So we'll talk about that on the show here today. Hastings Sodbusters in action last night. They beat the Jefferson City Renegades out of Duncan Field. They'll play another game in that series coming up tonight. Finally, we get the official bracket for the seniors A7 American Legion Baseball Tournament that gets underway tomorrow in Grand Island. So we'll take a look at that. The juniors tournament is going to be held out in Scotts Bluff. We'll check that bracket as well. Also got brackets this morning for the Class B and Class C junior state tournaments that get underway on Saturday. World Cup semifinals wrapped up yesterday. Argentina picking up an exciting win over England. So Argentina will move on to play Spain for the World Cup on Sunday. Going to have a conversation with Hastings 5 Points Bank head coach Blake Marquardt on the show today. Also going to talk some football. Lance Leopold from Kansas is going to join us. Comments from the Big 12 Media Days, the Monster Energy Big 12 Media Days down in Frisco, Texas last week. So we'll check in on the Jayhawks this morning. So a full plate for a Thursday as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Lots to get to here on the show, so looking forward to it.
World Cup action yesterday.
All right.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Argentina beating England by the score of 2-1. Mm-hmm. Surprised a lot of folks there. Well, what about the World Cup yesterday?
I mean, poor England, right? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Get to this stage and choke. England reminds you of Nebraska football in a lot of ways, with their inability to finish things. You get to the third quarter, and then you just forget how to football in the fourth quarter, and you comeback victory, all the one-score losses that we've had. We as Husker fans know what that heartbreak feels like, and for England, their fan base very similar, right? Start off the season 6-0 and strong, and then lose the next 6 games. That's England football to a T in the World Cup. And again, on the grandest stage, it happens. England has the lead, and they get their goal. And for whatever reason, Gareth Southgate, who's the manager of Team England, just decides to completely go into turtle mode. What I mean by that is just like shell up and try to batten down the hatches and what we have, we hold mentality instead of being the aggressor and going toe-to-toe with Argentina. And Argentina, if you give them enough opportunities with the ball, they're going to score a goal. Like, they are too damn talented not to find their way to the net. And Argentina just wave after wave after wave. They just kept coming. And the other thing that I was really impressed with yesterday in watching the Argentinian squad was not so much like they gave up that goal. Zero. It did not faze them whatsoever. That there was no look of panic. There was no frustration fouls that were happening. Like Argentina almost looked confident that they were going to find a way to get the equalizer and the game-winning goal even after they gave up the first. Like they just shrugged it off. So kudos to Argentina. And again, for England, another disappointing exit in a series, a historical series of early exits for Team England. And you just feel like, if not this year's squad, when? I mean, is England going to be the team that's cursed in the World Cup forever? This was by far their most talented squad ever assembled. And the fact that they are not playing for a World Cup final blows my mind.
It's going to be Spain and Argentina in the World Cup Championship. That's going to be Sunday at 2 on Fox. How do you see Spain and Argentina?
I want to say Argentina based on the path that they have had to get to this stage. I feel like Argentina has sized themselves up against better competition. But I also feel like I've been dogging on Spain since this whole knockout stage started. I had Spain losing in the round of 16, tells you what I know, which is very little. And so this Spain team has continued to impress with Yabon up there at the 9. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised based on the run of play. Spain shocked me with the victory over France. That was not on my bingo card. I had this being a World Cup rematch, since the quarterfinals when I redid my bracket after I screwed up my first one. Then I tried again, and I was like, okay, well, it'll be a World Cup rematch, and then that didn't happen. So based on my predictions and how accurately I have seen this World Cup going, I think Spain's got a great shot.
All right, that's going to be Sunday at 2 on Fox. Then for some reason they play a consolation game.
Third place games.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these. I don't care what sport it is.
I hate them.
But they're playing this in the World Cup. It's going to be Saturday. France will play England at 4 o'clock on the Fox.
Hey,
maybe
guys.
just give Fox a little programming for the weekend or what?
Oh, sure, but it's like, hey, guys, you just got your heart ripped out. All your hopes and dreams, everything that you have been chasing and working for the last 4 years to get to this moment, to get to this stage, it didn't happen for you, but go ahead and play for us anyway.
Yeah, come on out and play one more game Saturday, consolation game. Come on. Woohoo!
I don't like it at any level.
No, I don't either.
I any level. And you know where we can go with that conversation. What takes place every time that we have to go to the capital city and we win one game, and it's like, okay, well, we're here for the weekend regardless, and then we get to do the third place games.
Some people do. Some people do the third place games.
Good point.
We don't.
Good. We did.
Yeah, we did.
We did, and then we said no more.
At a previous stop, since we started this thing, hell no, we're not doing third place games.
Third place games.
That's stupid. That is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's your World Cup. Argentina winning over England 2-1 yesterday. Of course, Tuesday, Spain beat France 2-0. So the consolation game, France and England, 4 o'clock Saturday on Fox. The World Cup Championship Sunday, 2 o'clock on Fox. Major League Baseball gets restarted tonight with the second half of the season. You've got one game, New York playing at Philadelphia, then everybody else gets back into the swing of things again on Friday. But New York plays Philadelphia tonight after the All-Star game the other night, where the American League beat the National League by a score of 4-0. Missed out on your comments on that yesterday, but the American League had 11 pitchers combined to strike out 15 National League batters. They gave up only 3 base hits in a 4-0 victory at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think really, I mean, my big takeaway was I'm just thankful that Junior Caminero is going to be okay. X-rays coming back negative. He took a nasty high and tight fastball from my St. Louis Cardinal Riley O'Brien, who just decided to throw flamethrowers up in the dome, and whether it slipped or accidents happen, but God, it was like, dude, this is the All-Star game of all places to get plunked. This isn't it, and I felt horrible. Riley obviously felt like trash afterwards, so was glad to see that Junior's going to be okay. He, of course, put on the big show with his 491-foot bomb that he hit at the home run derby. So the dude can mash, and you don't want to see injuries in All-Star games. So yeah, glad he's okay. Super excited for the second half of the baseball season because oh boy, I got done with Buster's last night and went out for just one more drink, and NBA G League was playing.
Yeah.
That was all there was, and I'm like, oh man, it's slow, and I like pulling up my 99-cent sports app at the breakfast table here on the show. And then for the last 3 days, there is no activity happening remotely close to you. So yeah, nice that sports are getting back underway.
Yeah, Major League Baseball with New York at Philadelphia tonight, and everybody else back into action for weekend series. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to chime in with us here today. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, we're monitoring those comments as well. Blake Marquardt from Hastings 5 Points Bank going to be joining us in the second half of the show here today to talk about the Area 7 Seniors Baseball Tournament that gets underway tomorrow up in Grand Island. We heard from Nate Story yesterday as the juniors get ready to head to Scotts Bluff for their area tournament. Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes already in the state tournament. We're going to host that next weekend at a Duncan Field. So Hastings JIH just making an appearance out in the Area 7 Juniors Tournament in Scotts Bluff, although Nate says they're going out to win that tourney. Good coach speak there. They're going out to win the tourney out there and then move on to the state tournament next weekend. But we'll see how the area teams do this weekend and on into next week, hopefully. A couple other notes, NFL stuff. Running back Alvin Kamara is going to stay with the New Orleans Saints for the 2026 season. They reworked his contract, and he's going to stay at New Orleans. Kamara was set to make $11.5 million in base salary this season, although the Saints renegotiated his contract for salary cap purposes back in early March. In addition, $3 million of that salary became guaranteed last year. So they're just working some things around in the contract here to get him under the salary cap. Alvin Kamara is going to stay with the Saints. They signed Jacksonville running back Travis Etienne earlier to a 4-year deal worth more than $12 million per year. So they had a lot of money tied up in the running backs there in New Orleans. So they had to do something with the Kamara's contract to keep him on the roster. They did that yesterday. So, yeah, they got Alvin Kamara now at New Orleans in addition to Jacksonville running back Travis Etienne. So the Saints, I think I read this morning, they've got 7 running backs on their roster.
That's healthy.
Get ready to play this year.
As an Alvin Kamara fantasy owner who gets 4 weeks from him before his knee or ankle or toes go to shit and he goes on the IR, the Saints need all the running backs.
You've had Kamara
I've had Kamara before. He's injury prone. Let's just say needs to be in a bubble.
He's good for 4 or 5 weeks, and then
he's explosive for 4 or 5 weeks, and then he's shit.
Then you get rid of him and go put him on the waiver wire because he's hurt. Don't know when he's coming back. George Pickens, Dallas Cowboys wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
He's officially going to play the 2026 season on his $27.3 million franchise tender. After yesterday's deadline for tagged players to agree to long-term contracts passed, he's going to make $27.3 million. He's going to play under the tender. He's not going to get a long-term contract, or at least not until the season ends. This was a move kind of expected from the Cowboys. They announced right before the NFL draft back in April that they did not plan to hold talks on a long-term contract with Pickens. So he's going to play under the franchise tender of $27.3 million. I'm sure he'll be all right with that salary. And then they'll worry about maybe a long-term contract after that. Jerry will come up with something there at Dallas. Last time the Cowboys signed a player tagged for the first time to an extension was wide receiver Dez Bryant in 2015. So,
how many weeks are left in the offseason? Like, training camp's got to be right around the corner, right?
Yeah, don't they play that stupid Hall of Fame preseason game in July? Or I
was thinking that was late July last year, but
I think it's late July. Geez, we're at July 16th right now.
Right?
You would think that training camps are going to be opening up here soon. And then we'll have those stupid preseason games. Are we at 3 or are we at 4 preseason games? We're at 3 now?
3.
They used to have 4.
I think there's 4 weeks of preseason, but you only play 3 games. You get a bye week for 4.
In the preseason, you get a bye week?
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, preseason football will be starting in the NFL here in the next couple of weeks, and then the season doesn't officially get underway until September.
Mandatory veteran reporting date for all 32 teams is July 28th. So you can open up camp early, but the mandatory veteran reporting date is
July 28th.
28th. So
12 days. Less than 2 weeks.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was
just checking a quick comment here. Okay. Yeah, so 12 days the NFL gets started with the camp and preseason games. Which reminds me, I just got a note to remind the folks that we are going to have Survivor this year.
Nice.
We're finalizing details on the Survivor. So as we talk about the NFL camps opening up, get ready to go with the Survivor. We did this last year, had a lot of fun with it. We're going to do Survivor again this year on Extreme Sports. So get ready to partake in that. Let's see what else is going on. Nebraska. Some Nebraska news here. Florida prosecutors have declined to file charges against Nebraska running back Mekhi Nelson. Nelson had previously been arrested for aggravated battery in June. He was taken into custody at the Blue Flamingo Resort. Nelson appeared in 12 games last year, rushed for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns on 27 carries. He was expected to be the Huskers' number 1 running back after Emmett Johnson left via the NFL last year. But he got into trouble, and his status was kind of unknown. So Nebraska went out over the weekend and signed former Penn State running back Tiki Hayes to add some depth at that position because of the uncertainty of Nelson. But shortly after that, then Florida prosecutors announced that they are not going to file charges against Nelson. So that just kind of bolsters the running back room at Nebraska. So maybe not a bad move, or all of a sudden got very capable guys back there with Nelson returning, and now we got Tiki Hayes, who played 1 season at Penn State.
And as you were kind of running down that whole timeline, I think the thing that caught my attention was and whether it was intentional on your part or not, but when you said we went out and signed Tiki Hayes from Penn State, essentially what we're doing now, right? Like college football, this has become a free agency portal. And when you said went out and signed Tiki Hayes,
well, what else do you do?
Exactly. I mean, you recruit them to campus. They were selected.
Then you sign them.
We recruited him, right?
You sign him to a deal.
But it sounds more and more like free agency when you're talking like that. So
yeah, now Nebraska's got Nelson. We got Tiki Hayes.
I think Ives is back there.
Yeah, I like that name, Tiki. He didn't do a whole lot at Penn State. We gave you his numbers when we had the story yesterday. He's a kid that went to Iowa Western. Then he went to a Penn State. He appeared in one game during his lone season with the Nittany Lions. He carried the ball 3 times for 18 yards.
Solid effort. However, if you're a running back named Tiki, I think you almost got to go sign him. Running backs named Tiki have a long history of being pretty successful.
I like that.
Tiki Barber.
So that's what's going on with Nebraska. Again, the Big Ten Media Days coming up here shortly. And then Nebraska will be getting into the camp here I think right after the first of the month. So, football is coming up rapidly. I started doing some work on high school football plans. We actually start our season the final Friday of August this year. All 3 city teams will be in action the last week of August. So we're about 5 weeks away from high school football.
Jesus.
7:21, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. Again, if you got something to chat about here today, give us a call on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. Going to be talking some Legion baseball coming up. Going to be talking some college football as we check in with the Kansas Jayhawks on the show here today. By the way, the Adams County Fair got underway yesterday. Adams County Fairgrounds in Hastings. They're going to have entertainment in front of the grandstand tonight. Hairball.
80s rock, baby.
80s rock. I think you've seen this group a couple of times, haven't you?
This is, they are...
they're kind of a mainstay.
They're an entertaining bunch. They put on a good show.
Hairball.
Whether you've been to one hairball or whether you've been to 4 hairballs, they're all fun. It's all glam metal. Good opportunity for the chicks to get dressed up and face paint on. It's a party. It's a good time.
Friday,
I'm all about it.
Friday, you've got Trace Atkins. I like Trace Atkins.
I've heard of him.
He's a country guy.
He did the Swing Batter song, right?
Yep. I saw him. I've seen it a couple times. Then Wyatt Flores.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Is the entertainment on Saturday.
Who's
Adams
Wyatt
County
Flores?
Fair. I'm sure he's a country guy.
I've never heard
I
of
think
him.
he's a new
Up
country.
and coming?
Yeah. And then Sunday you get the Fairfest Rodeo.
Nice.
That's the entertainment at the Adams County Fair this year. I stumbled across something yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And this might just be the times. I saw yesterday. Remember when you could buy those all-you-can-ride wristbands, and your parents sent you out to the fair, and you could ride until you couldn't ride anymore?
Yeah.
And they were like $15. And you could ride as long as you want.
Until your heart's content.
Yeah, until you got tired of riding or you didn't feel well because you've been on the roller coasters and hanging upside down on some of these rides.
It was a more cost-effective option.
Guess what the wristbands are this year for Heart of America?
$100.
No, they're $40.
Oh, okay.
They're $40, but that's $40 a person.
I was judging inflation by the last time that we hung out at the fair together, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're well past that.
But they're $40. So you got a family of 3 kids. You gotta spend $120 to ride rides?
Just rides.
And then you got the fair food? You and I would have a couple of beers in a beer stand?
Yep.
You're talking $300 by the time you get out of there. Well, you are. I looked at that yesterday and says, if I had kids that's still that age, I don't know if I'd take them out to the fair get on a ride for $40.
Well, if you think 40 is rough, wait for a couple more weeks till the state fair shows up in Grand Island.
That's higher yet?
That's going to be higher yet. You had to pay just to get in.
Well, I know you paid
gated admission.
Yeah, I realize that.
What? That's so stupid.
Yeah, I remember, and my wife and I kind of talked about this last night when I saw this. I remember going out there like for $15.
It's like one day.
Now it's $40.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, just be prepared.
The amount of money that I've spent at the county fairs normally depends on whether I'm going to do 6 or 12 beers that day at the beer garden, and that's my
how long?
That's
yeah,
my
how
county
long
fair
we're
budget.
Mm-hmm. How long we're going to stay? I used to live there. I used to live at the county fair like all 5 or 6 days.
Oh yeah,
you could just book me in.
Oh yeah,
and you knew exactly where I was going to be. It was like I slept there.
I was excited when you got the camper because I figured you just pull the camper up next to the beer garden.
And I did that. I did that for a couple of years. Yeah, you stay out there with the 4-H
Let's
people.
Go.
I did that when I initially got the camper. Yeah. I did get a spot out to the fairgrounds, so Perfect. I just stayed there.
Just stumble into the camper.
Because I was working the morning gig across town.
Yep.
So I just I brought the camper out, and we just stayed there all week.
That's brilliant.
I don't do that anymore. But anyway, just be prepared. Plus, I understand the fairgrounds is now cashless at a lot of locations. Oof. So be prepared for that. But there are some, like food vendors and other vendors that take cash. So if you're heading out to the fair anytime in the next couple of days, be prepared. It's kind of a mix between cards and cash. So have a little bit of each. No, have a lot of each.
Right. Get a funnel cake for me.
God. I'm going to go out there today just to see.
Just to see the prices. Just to see the people.
It might be just the times. $40 for an all-you-can-ride pass to get on the merry-go-round.
Russ chiming in remembers the perfect school attendance got you a free ride bracelet when he was in elementary school.
That's right.
Perfect look at Russ.
Yeah, look at Russ. He's got, 4 kids?
Poor guy.
God, he's going to take out a second mortgage on his house. He's going to go out there, $160 for his kids to ride rides?
Good thing he works at a bank.
Yeah. God. Anyway, just be prepared if you're heading out to the Adams County Fair. It goes on through Sunday. Then they got the livestock sale and everything like they normally do on Monday. I didn't mean to jab the Adams County Fair.
No.
I just thought $40 for an all-you-could ride.
That's a little steep.
But you're right. When the state fair comes along,
it's going to look like change.
It's going to look good. It's going to look like you got a hell of a bargain at the Adams County Fair. So, anyway, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's 7:28 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We'll start at the state capitol, where Nebraska's projected budget shortfall has now grown to $223 million after the June tax receipts again fell below the forecast. It's the 4th straight month that state revenues have missed expectations, with lower than expected individual and corporate income tax collections driving the deficit. The growing shortfall comes as Governor Jim Pillen has already ordered most of the state agencies to cut spending by at least 5%. Meanwhile, This is exciting. The U.S. House has passed a bipartisan Sunshine Protection Act that would make daylight saving time permanent. The bill passed on a 308 to 117 vote, which in Washington, D.C. is insane. 308 to 117. Now heads to the Senate, where it remains a little uncertain. Permanent daylight saving time would mean keeping the clock shifted forward 1 hour all year.
Yeah, but wait a minute. The Senate, I don't think is going to go along with it.
Well, the Senate can get phone calls from me then. It eliminates the need to spring forward and fall back. The adjustment extends more daylight into the evening, creating later sunrises and sunsets compared to standard time. President Trump has voiced his support for the proposal, but as Mike said, the Senate is probably going to poo-poo it if they have not already done so.
I think I support that.
Well, hell yeah.
You just stay on one time. I don't care which time it is.
Oh, no, I care which time it is. It's this one. This is the time we stay on. I don't want to fall back. I don't like driving home from work in darkness. That's unnecessary. When it's 5.
Yeah.
And you're getting ready and you're cozied up and it's 6 p.m. and then you realize, oh shit, it's only 6 p.m. Like, what am I doing in my pajamas? Yeah.
But on the other hand, then other people would have to drive to work in the dark.
That's fine.
That's
fine.
Like the winter. So
what's
anyway,
going on in sports, buddy?
Anyway, sports today is brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill. Recover like a champion with Bamboo Mind and Body Spa. Nebraska's senior Grat Clevenger has signed an undrafted free agent contract with the Chicago White Sox. Clevenger becomes the 5th Husker from this year's team to continue with a Major League organization, joining Ty Horn, Carson Yassa, Dylan Carey, and Mac Moyer. Clevenger appeared in 12 games for the Huskers this season, striking out 9 and limiting batters to a 125 batting average in 5 1/3 innings pitched. He appeared in 41 games in his 3 seasons at Nebraska, posting a 1-1 record with a 4.79 earned run average with 37 strikeouts. Hastings Sodbusters beat the Jefferson City Renegades 10-8 last night out of Duncan Field. Bryce Anderson had 2 hits and 3 RBIs for the Sodbusters. Hastings is now 16-18 in the season. Same 2 teams will play at 7 tonight. Bracket is finally set for the Seniors A7 American Legion Baseball Tournament that gets underway tomorrow in Grand Island. 1 o'clock tomorrow. Hastings 5 Points Bank will play North Platte Great Plains Health. We'll have the game here on Extreme Sports beginning with the pregame show at 12:45 tomorrow afternoon. The 4 o'clock game will have Kearney Pinnacle Bank against Scottsbluff Wesco Zephyrs. Then at 7, top-seeded Grand Island Home Federal will play Grand Island U-Save. The Juniors Tournament is going to be held out in Scottsbluff, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Kearney Post 52 will play Lexington, followed by Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes against North Platte at 5. And then the Wesco Express will play Grand Island Pro Team Design at 7 o'clock. Pairings are set for the Class B and Class C Junior State tournaments that get underway on Saturday. In the Class B tournament in Wayne will play Aurora at 10, followed by Wahoo against West Point at 1. At 4 o'clock, it's Alliance against Hickman, followed by Plattsmouth against Holdridge at 7. The Class C state tournament is going to be held in DeWitt. Loomis will play Malcolm at 11 o'clock on Saturday, followed by Hartington against Centura at 2. At 5 o'clock, it's Pender against St. Paul, followed by Tri-County against Hebron at 8 o'clock. Again, in the World Cup semifinals yesterday, Argentina beat England 2-1. Argentina will play Spain for the World Cup Championship on Sunday. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:34 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones. The string of summer heat and humidity continues as we inch closer to the weekend and through the weekend and into next week. Hey everybody, Tim Jones here with your forecast. We'll stay in the low to mid 90s today on Thursday. That'll continue on Friday. Best we can do with wind speeds are southeast 5 to 10, so there won't be much air movement. Rain chances are non-existent, at least until we get into next week. We'll be in the mid to upper 90s through the weekend, even triple digits by Monday.
As you wake up, get going this morning, we've got south winds at 5 miles per hour. Clear skies, it is 68 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Looking for the perfect way to spend your Friday night in Hastings? Head just east of town on J Street and experience the excitement of Cam Raceway. Every Friday night through August, Cam Raceway brings you a full evening of grassroots racing on Nebraska's fastest 8th-mile dirt track. You'll see it all. Stock non-wing micros, restricted micros, junior sprints, junior cage karts, adult flat karts, and junior flat karts. Catch all the local drivers, all competing for the win under the lights. Gates open at 7 p.m. and racing gets underway at 8 p.m. And the best part, admission is just $10 and kids 12 and under get in free with a paying adult. So this Friday night, skip the routine and make your way to Cam Raceway where the engines fire up, the dirt flies, and the whole family can enjoy a night at the races.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and Owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Willis, Tyson and Bronick with you. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Thursday. Again, thanks for listening to us, whether you're on our website at x-streamsports.com, on your smartphone with our free mobile app, maybe on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us today. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. Again, we're going to have some Legion baseball coming up tomorrow. Hastings 5 Points Bank begins play in the Area 7 Seniors Tournament up in Grand Island against North Platte Great Plains Health. That ball game will get underway at 1 tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the contest here on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 12:45 from Ryder Park, and a chance to sit down with Hastings head coach Blake Marquardt. I spent a couple of minutes with Hastings head coach Blake Marquardt. Coach sitting at 14-14 and 1 on the season. What's the take on the year so far?
You know, we've competed really well here of lately in the season, and you know, as you progress through the season, your goal is to peak at the right time. And so we feel like our bats this last weekend really came alive. You know, our pitching staff did a tremendous job through the 4 games this last weekend. And then even up to that point, I felt like we competed extremely well. So, you know, the win-loss records might not always be where you want it to be, but at the end of the day, we just need to make sure we're healthy, we're competing, and then maybe we can peak here at the right time and you know, compete at an area tournament to make it to the state.
Yeah, sitting at 3-1 over the weekend in that Hastings Kearney tournament. Played pretty well, like I said, through the 4 ball games. Nice way to kind of wrap up the regular season. Yeah,
it really was. It really was. You know, and Sunday was a tough task, and not just because you're playing Mill itself, but also, you know, our pitcher did such a nice job the first 3 games of the tournament. We go out there on Friday and 2 on Saturday, and we threw 3 pitchers. They gave up, I can't remember, I think they gave up 4 hits and about 2 runs in 3 games. And so we get to Sunday, and I still needed to use about 4 guys to make sure we're staying in shape for area tournaments. So it was one of those days where even if one of our best pitchers was having an on day, we were going to have to make a move just to get everybody the right amount of reps for the weekend. But overall, great weekend. Our boys competed well. Bats came alive. Again, these are the moments that need us to take and transfer it over to the next tournament, which is now area.
Yeah, the postseason is here, Coach. What's this team need in the postseason now? What are we lacking?
You know, consistency with our bats. You know, we generally, I feel like, have a pretty strong pitching core. We've got guys that I like starting. I got guys that I like in the back end of games. And I feel like we've solidified, you know, for the most part, our batting order. Now we just need to be consistent with it 1 through 9 and make sure we're manufacturing runs when the opportunity comes.
Mentioned the pitching staff. Owen Ablett leading the way. He's got 5 victories for you, 5-1 in the season, 1.87 earned run average. Talk about his year. He's had a good season on the mound.
Yeah, he's been a great pitcher for us all summer long, and he starts about at least every week. You know, maybe we have to use him a little bit more every once in a while, but yeah, he's definitely been a solid arm for us and a guy that will pitch really early in the tournament for us. We have not decided who's going to pitch Friday versus North Platte, but he would be definitely one in contention to do so. But it's, you know, he's not just doing it with his pitching ability. He's also, you know, swinging it really well. He's playing tremendous defense in the outfield, and it's no surprise why, you know, he won, the Johnny Hop or the the MVP award for the season for us.
You got 3 guys right now hitting over 300, Nick Musel and Parker Hodgen and Gavin Stansberry. Talk about those guys. Talk about the offense here going into the postseason.
Well, you know, you talked about Parker Hodgen and Nick Musel. Those guys, that's one of our leadoff guys. It's our 3-hole hitter, and 2 guys that can hit for some good power as well. So we feel like they really extend, you know, the outfield a little bit. Gavin's been definitely a solid bat for us this year. He's definitely exceeded my expectations, and really proud of the way that kid's come along this summer. He usually kind of bats anywhere from, 6 to 8 there for us, but he really helps, extend the lineup down the entire thing so we don't feel like we ever take a drop off, 1 through 9. So again, 3 guys that you're talking about that put the ball in play really well and can do some damage when they're on the base paths as well.
Opening up the area tournament with North Platte, a team that we tried to play during the regular season, Coach, but both times we got rained out. So it's a team that we haven't seen so far this year.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about them. I mean, The time they come in here, it got rained out. The time we got there, we got 2 batters in and got lightning out and then hailed on, actually. So, yeah, we're going into this blindedly, and that's pretty uncommon when you get an area tournament that you haven't faced your opponent at least once.
Yeah, we know what they're like on paper. We see their stats. Looks like they're coming on here at the end of the year. They're 19-13 overall, but I think they're sitting at 7-3 in their last 10 ball games. So it looks like a team that's maybe found their mark a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and again, on paper, it looks good, but right now I like where we're at as well. So we're going to go into it worrying about ourselves and, worrying about what we need to do to get better and what we need to do to win. And, we'll prepare for what we know of them, but, with a different head coach, from last season and that, and not having the ability to play against them this year, there's probably not a lot that I, can take from last year, but we'll see. We'll definitely take care of business.
With Kearney hosting one of the state tournaments in Class A, 3 teams likely will qualify out of this area to move on to the state tournament. Do we play that way? Do we keep that in mind as this tournament progresses, or just to go out and see what we can do all weekend long?
Well, we're going to play to win every game, I regardless of where we're state. I think we did that. We had a great example of that last year when we made the final 2. Knowing we were going to be at state and we still wanted to go out and, win 2, even though we were in the losers bracket, just to get there. Even if that's, even if your guys get a little more exhausted, I think that's the right mindset that, we're there to compete the entire time. So, no, right now it's we're being the 3-4 seed. The most important game is obviously game 1, because if you happen to fall in that one, more than likely you're going to have to then go play the number 1 seed right after that. So we've got to tag game 1 like it is, the last game of our season.
Grand Island Home Federal, the number 1 seed in the area tournament. Looks like everybody is chasing that team. We've seen them a couple of times this year, Coach, and that's a well-oiled machine, isn't it?
They are. The thing is, they're just very consistent with what they do there. Obviously they've got some strong at-bats, some strong pitchers, and they play solid defense. The 3 aspects of the game, they do extremely well and very consistent. And it just seems like when we have played them, and from the games I've watched, they don't beat themselves. So you've got to go out and play extremely clean baseball, and then you've got to minimize every opportunity for their sake.
All right, Coach, what's it going to take to advance here in the area tournament, maybe make a run here at the end of the season?
To me, it's just game 1. We got to go out and win game 1. And we've got to, and then it happens from there. And then hopefully, obviously, you're going to play the 2-5, right? That's Kearney, Scotts Bluff. We played them both. There's a matchup there that we can win. But again, it's just going to start with game 1, and that's the only thing we need to worry about to this point.
All right. Best of luck to you. Hopefully we have a good weekend in GI.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
That's Blake Marquardt. He's the head coach for the Hastings 5 Points Bank Seniors American Legion baseball team. We're heading to Grand Island tomorrow for the A7 tournament. Again, Hastings will open up against North Platte Great Plains Health. Game gets underway at 1. The pregame show at 12:45 tomorrow afternoon right here. The other games in at 4 o'clock, Kearney Pinnacle Bank against Scottsbluff Wesco Zephyrs. 7 o'clock game will put the 2 Grand Island teams. Home Federal will take on Grand Island U-Save. That tournament is a double elimination affair. They will play on into next week. The juniors all heading out to Scottsbluff for their A7 tournament. 2 o'clock tomorrow. Kearney Post 52 will play Lexington, followed by Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes against North Platte at 5, and the Wesco Express against Grand Island Pro Team Design. That will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's 7:48 on Extreme Sports. Going to be talking some college football. We talked with or heard from Scott Frost, the head coach at Central Florida, earlier in the week. Yesterday heard from Deion Sanders at Colorado. We want to check in with the folks down in Lawrence, Kansas, and their head coach in Lance Leipold. He appeared at the Big 12 Media Days, the Monster Energy Big 12 media days down in Frisco, Texas last week. Lance talked about a big pickup for his team this year. Running back Yasin Willis. He's a big 225-pound running back that they picked up from Syracuse.
You know, your son's done a great job. He's a big back, physical back, downhill runner, able to move the pile a little bit. Andy Koltnicki has returned to our program as play caller, and I know he's really excited about what he gives us. That in the addition, we really like, first of all, the depth of the room that we have in the running back position. But your son being complemented with Dylan Edwards, we think we really have two different running styles that can really give us some explosiveness as an offense and some versatility.
Kansas is going to put on some miles this year. They're going to be playing in London on September 19th against Arizona State.
I think it's an opportunity for both our programs for this conference. Obviously, it does have its challenges. But when the commissioner brought this opportunity to us, first of all, as giving up a home game, we're in phase 2 of our stadium renovation, and we're at a reduced capacity, so that was part of the formula. But I'm still about, and I think we're still about student-athlete experience. And I think we're providing an opportunity for our student-athletes to have a once-in-a-lifetime experience to go over there and play a football game. I've mentioned it many moons ago when I was a graduate assistant at the University of Wisconsin. We played in Tokyo, Japan. And when I run into former players at that time, they still talk about that game and the trip and everything that went along with it. Now, playing week 3 is definitely going to be unique to us and the challenges that are provided. Both teams will have an open week afterwards, but getting there, acclimating, time change, everything from meals to practice facilities. I had a chance to go over there in April to see it. It's going to be a great setup. We get to play in one of the more iconic stadiums and really all the world and all the places that it's had. I think it's going to be a special experience, but one, like you said, and Kenny has alluded to as well, is to have our teams ready to play that day, but then to continually play the 9 games afterwards will be very important.
And listening to the comments from Lance Leopold, the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, talking about a September 19th game against Arizona State in London this year. That's the 3rd game of their season. Lance says that they got to play this game in London with a sense of urgency.
When you go over and play that game, if you win, everything's good. If not, then everybody has that. That's the reason the rest of the season. And that's a tough opportunity. The one thing that I think is a little different, even though it's in week 3 for us versus the Kansas State-Iowa State game of a year ago, both those teams came back and had to play that next Saturday. Didn't matter if it was an FCS opponent or who they each played. They had to get their teams back and ready, and that's tough. And that's, I think hopefully we feel we have a very confident plan that when we do get back about how we're going to get our guys, some time down, transition back, and then get ready for a game on October 3rd. So I think that'll be, very important as we move forward. Yes, there's probably some, obstacles that go with it, but we feel good about that. Obviously the opportunity, Big Noon Cook-Off's going to be at the game. That's huge. Anytime a chance for your university to be kind of separate and on the stage with Arizona State, the opportunities that'll be, the coverage that'll bring. Hopefully many of you are still going to cover that as well. And hopefully the branding of that it does really for both universities across the board, not just for football, but we hope all these things can happen. And I just hope really it's just the start of opportunities for this conference to really take advantage of things that'll happen internationally. We talk about a lot of things in our sport now that are going on that emulate a lot of things that are done in the NFL. Well, there's a reason why the NFL keeps adding more and more games internationally for different reasons. Yes, they have more open weeks, they have more games, but if it wasn't beneficial to the overall bottom line, and let's face it, we got to worry about the bottom line. If it wasn't beneficial, they wouldn't be doing it. And I think, again, with the vision of Commissioner Yormark and his aggressiveness to maybe be outside the box in some things, I think that we'll be on the cutting edge of this for years to come.
Kansas finished 5-7 last year. They were 3-6 in conference play, but the coach says they're ready to take that next step in 2026.
Obviously, standards have changed and expectations have changed in Lawrence, Kansas since we arrived, and we're proud of that. And obviously, the last couple of years have not gone the way we have. We haven't found a way to close out some close ball games. We've had some opportunities, probably well documented, some close losses that easily put us that we could be sitting up here today talking about 4 consecutive bowl games and yada, yada, yada. But we haven't done that. And where does it fall? It falls on the head coach, and I have to do a better job to do that. Our players embrace that. They understand that, we're getting people's better shots than we did a couple of years ago as far as who the Kansas Jayhawks are. And we have to embrace that. But I also know that our guys believe that we put together a staff and a team this year that can be extremely competitive, can be surprising. I love the depth that we have in our program, and we're going to put ourselves in a position, because the one thing about the parity in this conference that kind of goes through with the balance is that we've seen the years, and I've probably said it before, I think the 2021 season, where was Baylor thought of before they won the league in preseason? TCU was probably more the middle of the pack the year that they went to the playoffs. Arizona State was picked at the bottom or near the bottom the year Kenny took them to the playoffs. So there's a lot of things that can happen in this. And through the new portal era, I always think it has to do a little bit with some of the additions that people don't talk about that add depth and quality depth and sustainability to certain teams that allow them to compete. And I think one of the things that we feel good about our team this year is, from the first guy that steps on the field to the next guy, the gap there is the least it's ever been in our time.
All right, that's Lance Leipold. He's the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. Again, Kansas 5-7 last year, 3-6 in conference play as they get ready to open up their 2026 season. Listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Thursday. We'll get you the sports headlines today. Brought to you by Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings and Blue Hill. Feel better, live better. Nebraska's senior Grant Clevenger has signed an undrafted free agent contract with the Chicago White Sox. Clevenger becomes the 5th Husker from this year's team to continue with a major league organization, joining Ty Horn, Carson Yassa, Dylan Carey, and Mac Moyer. Clevenger appeared in 12 games for the Huskers this season, striking out 9 and limiting batters to a 125 batting average in 5 1/3 innings pitch. He appeared in 41 games in his 3 seasons at Nebraska, posting a 1-1 record with a 5.79 earned run average with 37 strikeouts. Florida prosecutors have declined to file charges against Nebraska running back Mekhi Nelson. Nelson had previously been arrested for aggravated battery in June. He was taken into custody at the Blue Flamingo Resort. Nelson appeared in 12 games last year, rushed for 147 yards, 2 touchdowns on 27 carries. Earlier this week, Nebraska reached a deal with former Penn State running back Tiki Hayes to add some depth at that running back position. Meanwhile, the Hastings Sodbusters, they beat the Jefferson City Renegades 10-8 last night at Duncan Field. Bryce Anderson had 2 hits and 3 RBIs for the Sodbusters. Hastings now 16-18 in the season. Same 2 teams will play at 7 o'clock tonight. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:58 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
The string of summer heat and humidity continues as we inch closer to the weekend and through the weekend and into next week. Hey everybody, Tim Jones here with your forecast. We'll stay in the low to mid 90s today on Thursday. That'll continue on Friday. Best we can do with wind speeds are southeast 5 to 10, so there won't be much air movement. Rain chances are non-existent, at least until we get into next week. We'll be in the mid to upper 90s through the weekend, even triple digits by Monday.
South winds this morning at about 5 miles per hour. Clear skies, 68 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
Are you listening to Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports for this Thursday? Again, we've got some Legion baseball coming your way tomorrow. The Area 7 Seniors Tournament gets underway up in Grand Island. We'll have the Hastings 5 Points Banks games for you all weekend long, and hopefully on into next week. Hastings will open up play against North Platte Great Plains Health. That game will go at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Ryder Park. The pregame show 12:45 tomorrow afternoon. So join us, Hastings and North Platte Legion Baseball tomorrow on Extreme Sports. Again, if you'd like to listen to the show again, I had a conversation with Blake Marquardt, the head coach for Hastings 5 Points Bank. Also heard some comments from Kansas head football coach Lance Leopold. If you'd like to listen to the show again, you can go to our social media sites, download the podcast, and listen to the show at your convenience throughout the day here today. Once or twice, if you like. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock starting time for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.
the Guardians, the Twins, all within 3 games of each other. White Sox and Guards begin play on Friday, tied atop the American League Central. It's a 3-team race in the wild. Texas leads Seattle by a 1.5 games, and they have a 3-game advantage over their in-state rival Houston. How about the Atlanta Braves clinging to life atop the National League East? They're 2 up on the Phillies, who start the second half tonight. The Marlins, hard charging, are only 4 back. And then the Chicago Cubs. Yeah, they've been a roller coaster team. But, man, 5 games back of the Brewers. Don't know if the Brewers are out of harm's way. And I think Chicago will be very active, as will many other teams, at the trade deadline before August 3rd.
Jetson, this one might perplex you a little bit when I say that the stock is up right now for the Ryder Cup. And you go, wait a minute, we're not playing the Ryder Cup until next September in 2027 over there at Adair Manor in Limerick, Ireland. Well, why would this be pressing now? Why is the popularity of the Ryder Cup continuing to go up, up, up? Because, let's be honest, okay? When we watch the last major of the year this week over the next 4 days, we're going to be talking about Euros, we're going to be talking about Americans. That's what we're going to be talking about. You just asked the president of the RNA yesterday about unruly fans and what's going to happen to the unruly fans in Europe. Yeah, they actually do exist, people. That's a real thing. And some of our Americans have been getting heckled. And they have gotten, when Brian Harmon won the British Open a couple years ago, he was getting heckled as an American. And Jensen, I'm not here to say we have to stop the heckling. I think they're looking at this all wrong. Embrace the heckling. This is good. And that's what you're going to get at the Ryder Cup when we go overseas to Ireland next year. I expect it. If you're the United States, don't say, we're worried about the yelling at us and the swinging and my backswing. No. That's what you should expect if you're wearing the red, white, and blue when we go over there. Be mentally tougher than the fans that can't play at the elite level that you play at, all right? So let's be a little bit tougher here, golf, because the Ryder Cup, it's built for this. I know the Euros are still complaining about what happened to Bethpage Black last year, right? Boy, oh boy, were they upset about that. Deal with it, boys. Okay, we're going to deal with it. We're going to go to Ireland next year, and it's going to be one of the greatest sporting events that we see every 2 years. The Ryder Cup, the stock is up. Let the fans be fans, and let's all enjoy it. And let's put the big boy pants on here and go win a golf tournament.
All right, I just talked about it with Mike Palm, but it bears repeating. Baseball trying to grow the game and trying to continue a groundswell that I can tell you I experienced firsthand through this men's college baseball postseason. The stock has never been higher on amateur baseball. Well, let's lean into that, MLB. You find different ways to continue to really trip over yourselves when it feels like it's so easy to be able to illuminate some of the great young talent that is coming here in the next several years. I'll say it again. What I hope they do for scheduling next year and beyond, if you want to keep the draft after the College World Series, I think that's a great move. Number 2, you can end the first half on a Saturday and not one player is going to be upset with you about not playing on a Sunday. Now, you can hold that for a rain date if you want, but I would shy away from that, and I'd rather tell all 30 teams you can't schedule any rain-out makeups or any PPDs that day, because that is the day we're going to celebrate the next wave. You put the Futures game on in the afternoon, standalone spot there at the All-Star venue. You put the Major League Draft on that night in prime time on a Sunday. It is one of those easy fixes that MLB can make. And if you do that, watch the amount of fans that parabolically come into wanting to know more about not only the amateur side of the game, but you eventually get, as those people buy into the great storylines of these collegiate athletes, these high school draftees. It's an easy fix. MLB, do the right thing.
My first stock up was soccer in the United States. My first stock down is United States soccer. And there is a massive difference, okay? The fans have been better than the team. And we've got to be real about the result of this United States soccer team this year, because I got swept up in it too, and it's a really good showing. And it's not, again, losing to Belgium, and I still haven't had a waffle since. It's the manner in which you lost. I know England has a lot to say today about the manner in which they lost Argentina.